The way this country talks about black victims versus white victims is disgusting. Nolan Wells' body was found yesterday off the coast of Mississippi. If you didn't know, he was presumed missing and dead on July 4th. It is America's 250th birthday, and we're still dealing with this bullshit. He was celebrating with his friends for the 4th of July, and there's now circulating video that is going very viral of what looks to be him and his friends that he went with on the beach, and there's an argument. There's yelling happening. In the video, he looks to be very calmly standing still looking at his buddies. And somehow, the conversation is about his behavior. Why wasn't he on the boat? Was he drinking? Was he going from one boat to another? Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. It's kind of morbid, so stick with me and trigger warning. If I show up dead, washed on a beach, my community of people where I was born are not going to go, well, how was Jake acting? Did he stay where he was supposed to? Did he start an argument with people? No, it's going to go, what the fuck? We have someone that would kill people out here? Jake, I love that guy. He plays for the football team. I'm just putting myself in Nolan's shoes. Nolan plays for the team. He's friends with those people. And the conversation is about his behavior. Just so frustrating. Like, racism is still alive and well just in the dialogue. Just in the dialogue. As simple as that. I just want this country to do better. And I see a future where we just stop with this bullshit and start going like, man, this kid was killed. Like, his on the 4th of July, he is celebrating with everyone. And he can't even do that. We can do better. We gotta do better. Oh, and apparently one of the friends' moms is a local judge. And if you think that will work in Nolan's favor, you clearly don't know anything about the history of young black men in this country. This isn't gonna go anywhere. We have to speak up about it.
Nolan Xavier Wells is an 18-year-old college student. He went missing on the 4th of July after partying with his friends on Horn Island, and there have been so many questions, speculation, and how did this happen? Things are slowly starting to make sense, so we're just gonna talk about it. I'm very scatterbrained, so I'm trying to get all of the thoughts out. It's just, there's a lot of moving pieces. This right here is Katie McCormick. Katie McCormick is one of the people that was around Nolan on the 4th of July. I've been reading a lot of comments on Facebook, and all of these comments are from people that know them. They either know Nolan, Katie, one of the boys, a mixture. Yeah, as we know, people say a ton of things on the internet, so I just want to make sure before I put things out that I actually believe this to be true, because I don't want to share anything that is, unhelpful, messy, disrespectful family, anything like that. There are a lot of posts saying that Katie is his girlfriend. That's not true. Many people that were there that day have stated that Katie and Nolan met on that day. They met on that day. Nolan came with his people. Katie came with her own people. They met because it was this huge party that was happening in the water. This is a comment on Facebook from Ashton. Ashton knows Katie personally. I'm going to let y'all pause and read. What Ashton is saying is that Katie is a genuine and sincere person, that she hasn't really played a part in this, did not meet him until that day. Ashton continued, if anything, everyone needs to be questioning the friends and definitely not Katie. I personally sense genuinity behind this comment. I looked at their page. They seem to actually know each other. This is another person who knows Katie personally. She said, I know Katie since she was in 4th grade, and her story is literally the only one that hasn't changed. Now that line kind of sat with me. The only one that hasn't changed. So whose story changed? And she asked, who was on the boat with her that can back her up and vouch that she was with them the whole time. Grace goes on and says that Katie has made a full statement to police and Nolan's mom, and he didn't see him physically get back on the boat, but she saw his friends telling him to get on the boat, but everybody was in the water. And I've seen videos, there was a lot of people. I'm sure she doesn't know the exact time, but what I do know is Katie's story is the only one who hasn't changed at all this time. She told the cops and the mom the same thing. So she reiterated the fact that her story hasn't changed. So whose story has changed? I found this very interesting. And again, this is somebody who personally knows them. Grace goes on and she says, the boys also stated they came back and realized that he didn't ride back with somebody else. They then stated as well too, a different story, is that he stayed behind with Katie. So which one was it? Did he stay behind with Katie? Or was he supposed to be on the boat with y'all and y'all didn't realize that he came back or didn't come back? She goes on, and I found this interesting as well too. Several have said they saw the boys fighting. I've seen that video of the person who was parked next to them, and if you listen to the audio, it sounds like people are fighting. They're like, get on the fucking boat, or it's hard to tell. There's a lot going on, but you can definitely sense a fight is going on. Said several have stated they saw the boys fighting. This would have been after the encounter with Katie. I don't know. This is a lot. I genuinely feel like Katie, because a lot of people on Facebook at least are attacking her. I genuinely feel like, and I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I feel like Katie is innocent in this. I feel like they most likely met, and it sounds like was somebody jealous that or upset that he was talking to this pretty white girl, you know, the black guy, whatever, and he's with a bunch of white men. Was somebody butthurt about that? Because according to the other girl, they started fighting after the encounter with Katie. So what triggered this fight? And also, why are they telling different stories? We got one story is, oh, he got on the boat and we thought he was on the boat, then we realized he wasn't. And then, oh, but the other story is he stayed with Katie, because people are leaving those comments on my Instagram too, is that he stayed with Katie. He insisted on being back there with Katie. But Katie got on the boat with her people. I don't know. And Katie's been consistent with the police and his mother. What do y'all think?
In light of this Nolan and Xavier story, I really want to tell a story. This is for black parents or parents of color who have children in all white spaces. I'm from Michigan, right? And there's this beach everybody goes to. It's called Grand Haven. I probably was 17. There's this thing that Peach people do, right? Racial baiting, racial peer pressure. They will try to peer pressure your children into doing something that is dangerous to them or could potentially harm them. And it will be for their enjoyment. So there's these 3 or 4 black boys. I can't remember the exact number. And then there's these 2 peach girl, peach boy, right? They jumping off the pier, right? These people have boats. These people have been swimming all their lives. Like, it's nothing for them. They've done this plenty of times, I promise you. Me and my best friend, we're just sitting over the pier and we see the black boys, right? And they start talking to them. They're just having a normal conversation, and then all of a sudden they're telling them, hey, jump in, jump in. We instantly can tell this is a problem. The black boys are making statements clearly, you know, insinuating that they can't swim. Nah, bro, I ain't jumping in there. That's crazy. How deep is the water? Da, 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 da. This peach girl and peach boy are saying anything to get them to listen. They're calling them scary and saying, oh, y'all are scared. It is not that deep. Oh, this is easy. You know, and of course it's easy for them, and they know it's not easy for these boys. They know there's a potential that something very bad could happen, but they don't care because they want to see if they're going to jump in. At one point, the peach girl says, I will show you my breasts if you jump in. Me and my friend, we turned to them. We said, y'all better not jump in. Y'all better not jump in. Do they listen? Of course not, because the little girl is shaking her yitties. 2 boys jump in. Do you think they did anything when these boys was fighting for their life? Do you think? They mamas don't even know. They could have almost lost their child that day. Peach girl, peach boy was just cracking up, laughing. Mind you, they can swim. Me and my best friend, we started looking for a little buoy or something that we could throw out there. Like, we were scared. Anyways, they end up catching hold of the little dock or whatever, and they had to learn a harsh lesson. That's that. But the whole point of the story is just to tell you that things like that happen all the time with them. They even do it to each other. I'm telling you this not to say that it's all white people, not to say that they're all bad, but I just want you to know that you need to protect your children. You need to protect them because they do not understand. And if you didn't grow up with a mama like mine, they will succumb to that type of peer pressure. You have to stop letting your children live in a state of delusion.
Hi guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If you're just coming across my page for the very first time, please do well to give me a like, share my video, and please, I beg in the name of God, subscribe for me. Guys, this is so painful. Like, this is so painful. A very young, promising boy. Like, since I watched these clips, I was like, Jesus. Oh God. Please, black parents, watch over your children. Please, don't let them hang out with these people. I beg in the name of God. Because I'm going to add more clips and stitches to these particular videos. Then I'll come back with commentaries.
Times out of 10, you ain't there for the party and you there as the present. My mama always told me, if you the only birthday candle at the birthday party, you not there for the birthday party, you there to be the present. Nolan Wells and this whole entire thing down there in Mississippi look fishy. One of the boys' mama is a judge down there. Don't nobody know what happened. Now all of a sudden, a body's been found to presume to be his. His mama, Nolan Wells, is online saying she want answers, which means she crying out to the world because she don't believe nothing Mississippi say, which she shouldn't. I want to hear what's going on because it's moving a little too slow for me. The people who investigate this whole thing saying that it's no way possible he could have made it to inside of the island because it's cactus and stuff everywhere. So what really happened to Nolan? That's all we want to know. I'm not going to cover this like I know everything. I want to hear y'all speak this time, okay? Because apparently the other way don't work when we just take what y'all say on y'all news outlets. We want to know what happened from y'all. Instead of all of us making posts on, y'all go live and say what happened. Put them boys on camera. Let us look at them. Let us be the judge of character on this one. Sidebar. I done already goddamn judged them. Y'all guilty. I don't give a damn. My baby leave the house and he don't come back and it was all white friends. Guilty. Undertaker commit to bodies. I digress. Nolan Wells has went missing. Body found. Parents want to know what's going on in Mississippi. If you ain't know what was going on, you know now. He went missing 4th of July weekend. He was with his friends. And he was the only birthday candle. I'm just here to bring you the news. I'm just the messenger.
When black people say, who all gonna be there? That is a survival tool. That is a survival sentence. Because is there an ex there? Is there someone I don't fuck with there? Am I going to be the only black person at this party? All of these things are dangerous. So when I hear the story about Nolan Xavier Wells, an 18-year-old who goes to a boat party with his friends and he's the only black person there, and now he's missing, and then nobody knows what happened to him when they got back on the boat and they drove away from said island. We don't know, but his body was found this morning, and I just want to know all the pieces that came together with his white friends just not really accounting for the fact that he's missing. Like, y'all left. It really reminds me of that story of forgive me, I can't remember her name, but there was that black woman who went to an adult sleepover and she was the token black friend. There was like a bunch of white ladies on a couch and there was just her. And supposedly she had an accidental fall off a balcony. And I always remember that story because I'm like, yo, the investigation just was like really sloppy, and there was like bad accounts of the situation, and nobody went to jail. Nobody, like, I just don't know what happened. And don't get me wrong, there's that sprinkle of white folk I trust, but at the same time, going to a party where there's no other black people around, it's a dangerous situation. It's a dangerous fucking situation if you are a minority. If you're a black in any way, shape, or form, it's just dangerous. And so prayers to their family. I it's just wild seeing the pictures of this young man and to know that he won't see another summer again because he decided to trust the wrong people.
This is the exact reason I tell my kids, friend or no friend, you can't trust anybody. How is it possible for a group of friends to go to Mississippi's Horn Island, but when they come back home, they come back without somebody that they went with? And they're going to say race ain't play a part. You see everybody in this picture right here. Tell me what looks different. Tell me. You had an 18-year-old accomplished football star, Nolan Wells, goes to Mississippi Horn Island with his friends on the 4th of July, and then he turns up missing. Mind you, all of his friends make it home safe. And the person that went with them, Nolan Xavier Wells, he's missing. And nobody has nothing to say about that. You have his so-called friends saying that they don't remember anything. They don't remember seeing what happened to him. Mind you, they have pictures on the boat. Mind you, they have pictures together. But nobody knows what happened to him. Now you got the Coast Guard, sheriff deputies, Marine units, and multiple agencies searching for him right now. They're searching the waters, searching surrounding areas, trying to figure out what happened. They're also saying that the last time he was seen with a team. They're also saying that they found his phone, but they didn't find him. What team do you know right now would leave his phone behind? Tell me that. But you see how all of this sounds? This is why disappearances like this and places like this always leave people questioning. If you spend time looking into missing person cases like this, then you already know what may be the outcome. Do you understand how this young man's parents has to feel? They just want their kid back. We definitely need to spread the word about this. We need some answers. This shit is crazy.
So the same thing that happened to Nolan Wells almost happened to me. I think I was like 22 years old working at Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean? Young, silly. Forgot a couple of the things that my granddaddy told me when I was growing up. But at any rate, every year, the employees and managers, they would take this little, resort, and it wasn't really a resort. It was in the country, and they would take a couple of canoes, some ice chest of beer, and you know what I mean. Everybody was out there smoking, you know what I mean. And I'm like, man, that sounds like a good time. And mind you, I could swim. Been swimming since, I don't know, maybe was 4 years old when I jumped in the pool for the first time. But at that point in time, I thought these people were my friends. Another lesson my grandparents taught me when I was younger is that you don't have any friends. You know what I mean? You really do not. Like, my siblings were always my friends, and I learned that. At any rate, I signed up to go on this, little trip with these people. And it was good at first. It was, the water was kind of shallow. You know what I mean? We maybe had 6 or 7 canoes out there, music, people having a good time. And I'm not really used to that, and I'm not having a good time. But usually when me and my kinfolk get together and play music that loud and was as rambunctious as they were, and because the whole time I'm looking around like, when the police showing up? We smoking weed out loud and everything. So mind you, after a while I got comfortable into it, you know what I mean? Everybody told me, loosen up. But I'm on edge, you know what I mean? For many reasons. And so the trip continued. And at one point in time, they let us know, okay, so we're going to get up on the bank right here, and then we're going to go see the waterfall. So I'm like, oh, okay, so but what we going to do at the waterfall? You know what I mean? Because I'm vibing, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. And they was like, we're just going to look at sit there, light a fire, smoke some more, drink some more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to the little spot where we pull up the canoes, we anchor them off and whatnot. And then they tell us, okay, so this little piece of water right here, we got to swim across that to get to the waterfall. I hate when people add extras to a plan. You know what I mean? Especially for me, I think into a lot of things and I got a plan. So I'm still cautious, and I'm watching everybody dive in this water, you know what I mean, and swim right across. You know what I mean? And I hadn't jumped in yet because I'm still leery. I don't know what it was, but it was holding me back. But so I'm the last person. Everybody like, come on, let's go. So I jump in, and I get almost halfway through over that water to the other side. And then I realized that I'm swimming rather hard and ain't moving nowhere. Long story short, nobody told me that there was a strong current at this spot and you needed to be prepared. At this point, I'm smoking and drinking. So I couldn't understand. Just get back to the story. So I get halfway through the water and I realize that, and I'm losing my strength slowly but surely. And at this point in time, I am calling out for help. No music is playing at this time. You know what I mean? None. Yeah, everybody was rambunctious, excited, whatever, but you could clearly hear me out there in the woods. It's still daylight. So I am screaming that I can't make it. Somebody please help me. They turn around, several of them look at me, say, you can do it, come on, let's go. And they continue to walk off. At this point in time, I have already said my prayers and have already decided that I'm going to meet my maker. I scream one more time, I am going to drown, and I went down. I don't know can't remember who it was and what made them decide to change their mind and come back, but one person jumped in that water, grabbed me, pulled me up onto the bank, and mind you, they didn't do anything else after that and continued on their way. So I said all of this to say that I have Caucasian friends, you know what I mean? And I ain't saying friends. I have Caucasian people that I love and care about. You know what I mean? Because that's what God said. But I will be honest with you. It is a lesson that the elders taught us as young black children. The same lesson that I'm sure you're telling all your children now. Do not be the only one. And it really doesn't matter how people feel about that, because the concern is preservation of life. So for some reason, God saw fit to to not allow me to lose my life that day. And for some reason, God called Nolan home. So I will say that despite what anybody feels about how you feel about the situation, please have that conversation with your children. And that's all I'm gonna say. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and to his entire family.
Being the token black person in the friend group would cost you your life. For example, Nolan Wells, who went on a boating trip with his friends, the only black guy in the group, on July the 4th in Mississippi, and he came up missing. And we see the same thing that took place in 2018 when you're talking about Tamala Horsford. She went to a gathering with her white friends and she came up deceased. The sheer amount of times that black people will not understand that when you're the token black person in the friend group, you can die and none of your white friends will say a goddamn thing. See, that's the problem. You think everybody fuck with you. Everybody don't like you. This illusion of inclusion bullshit is a westernized ideology that doesn't exist. Because their concept of patriotism is really racism. You just had 400 white nationalists in DC marching on July the 4th. Some of those people are teachers, firefighters, police officers, judges, lawyers, people you work with. So with all that shit being said, my father said it best. Never be the only one. Never be the only one of your race. Never be the only one that doesn't have any money. Never be the only one that doesn't have a car. Because it's going to create this energy to where you start to seek validation because you're trying to compensate for the lack thereof because you ain't got shit. So you try to live vicariously through white people by getting on their boat. Get your own shit. That's how you save yourself. That's the first rule of nature, self-preservation. So when it comes to so-called black people, I'm not saying that all Europeans are like this. You got to have some type of social awareness to where you have the mental and spiritual fortitude to see what the fuck is going on around you, right? And rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
I don't think I ever thought I would say no shit like this, but listen to what these white people is saying. They said, stop hanging with a group of white people if you are the only black person. The amount of Caucasian people I have seen get on this app in the last 24 hours and say, black people, please stop hanging with groups of white people. Like, as an individual sole black person, you should not be the only black person in a group of white people. It has been astronomical. Like, I literally am scrolling in this one video after the other of Caucasian people telling us as African Americans, do not hang with a group of all Caucasian people if you are the only African American. This isn't about, oh, I trust my friends. This isn't about, oh, I've known them my entire, that's not what this is about. This is about history. This is about what we know, what we have seen, and what has been proven time and time and time again.
I'm not buying the we thought he caught another ride BS. I'm not doing it. He came with y'all, he should have left with y'all. Y'all also had his phone too, so make that make sense. Of course, here comes people saying, oh, it's not about race. No, but it is. Why is it the fact that the one black teen that went out with a whole bunch of white boys is the only one to show up deceased? Y'all not gonna like this one, but being the only black person in a group full of white people or whatever the race is not always the smartest or safest choice. For these white friends of his to say that they don't know what happened to him and they can't remember is a little off-putting. They were not looking out for their so-called friend, and it shows. Hence why I'm not believing anything that they're saying. I'm not buying anything that they're selling. Nolan deserved to be home safe and sound, just like his so-called friends got to be able to be home safe and sound. Prayers out to his family. I really hope they get some answers because we all know, like, cases like this don't really get the attention that they deserve. They just get brushed over.
Black parents, please. It's high time we know the kind of people our kids are hanging out with. Please, it's high time we know the kind of people and where our kids are going to. Imagine a very young, healthy, promising, cute, sweet, little young man went out with his friends, with his friends, to Mississippi. They went for a boat cruise, like they went to party. It's a normal thing. Then he was found unalived. Guys, there were 4 or 5 of them that went out for that trip, and he is the only black person among these boys. He is the only black person among these boys. Guys, this is not the first case of young promising black kids that will go out on a date with their friends that are not their skin color, and they will not come back, or they will find them unalive. Please, I beg you, parents, please, black Americans, parents, watch your kids. This boy has a life. This boy has a very, 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 very good future. A promising young man. So, like, imagine going out with my friends, with 3 of my friends. So then, making 4 of us. Then, I and 3 of my friends will come back without the last person we went out with. Then we'll come back without one person that we went out with. Something is wrong. Something is fishy. Why do those boys deactivated their account? Like, I watched a clip and I added it among the clip and stitches I added to my videos. You saw it there where a lady vlogged it and was saying these guys deactivated all their social media handles. They deactivated all their social media handles. Not even a rest in peace message to this boy on their social media handle. Like nothing. They were just silent. They were just silent as if nothing happened. They were just silent as if they didn't go out with that boy. They were just silent as if they don't know where that boy is. Everybody was just silent. Oh God, I pray justice be served for this boy. I pray justice be served for this boy. Okay, what if justice is even served for the boy? What if justice was served? Will it bring him back? No. Will it bring back that boy that was unalived? No. Will his mother, oh God of Israel, I don't even know how his mom will feel right now. I don't even know how his parents are going to feel. So just imagine. A promising young boy. This should serve as lesson. Guys, the problem is I don't think you blacks like you ever learn. I don't think if you guys learn, because this is not the first case, this is not the second or the third. Keeping such friends and going out with them alone is risky. Guys, I'm trying so hard not to cry. I'm trying so hard not to cry on this video, but I felt the pain of losing a 19-year-old boy. Not just an ordinary boy, but a promising young man that went out on a date with his friends. So terrible. But so guys, oh God, Please, you guys should put eyes on your child. You guys should put eyes on your children. You guys should put eyes on your children. Please. Please. Know the kind of friends they walk with. Know the kind of places they go. And know the kind of people they keep as friends. Please, this is very important for every mother.